World leaders are beginning their retaliation against Donald Trump and his despicable regime for his threats to invade Greenland. You had the top ambassadors from Europe holding a secret meeting over the weekend where they discussed what they view as the nuclear option before a military incursion is actually necessary. They refer to it as a trade bazooka, using the most powerful lever of the European Union to basically shut down trade with the United States if it comes to it. One measure before an actual military fight with the United States, which Europe is now preparing for, and they will not back down. This as Donald Trump now turns his eye yet again to focus on Canada. And he's been telling everybody around him that he wants Canada, that Canada needs to be the 51st state. And he continues to mention this over and over again, as Kristen Welker reported earlier yesterday morning. Donald Trump, and this is regime media, so it's coming from Trump, folks. Donald Trump is increasingly ramping up his focus to target Canada. Donald Trump saying Canada is too vulnerable to U.S. adversaries and something needs to be done in Canada. Well, Prime Minister Carney has a message for you. He's considering deploying more troops to Greenland right now, and also Prime Minister Carney completed his trip to China, where he and Xi Jinping came up with a $1 trillion strategic trade alliance. Those electric vehicles from China are about to start pouring in to Canada, which will deliver a crushing blow to the United States auto industry. And also China is going to start buying more liquefied natural gas from Canada, as well as more Canadian canola and more Canadian products in general. And by the way, a recent poll that just came out from China talks about that the boycott of certain goods and services and products from the United States, just take booze, for example, 73 to 75% of Canadians now are boycotting American products, giving the appropriate middle finger to Donald Trump and his despicable regime. And by the way, don't you just love it when you have state regime media hosts on Fox like Laura Ingraham and others whining, "You're going to crush our industry"? This is what Laura Ingraham posted. Canada's trying to destroy the North American auto industry against Ukraine to help Putin. In both cases, U.S. intelligence services and Trump, sometimes even going around formal intelligence services through kind of other proxies in the regime, trying to steal classified information about Greenlandic military bases, facilities, Danish military bases and facilities in order to plan its invasion. When it came to Ukraine, I talked about this yesterday morning. One of the things that France and Ukraine worked on together, brilliant move, they would feed fake information, fake intelligence to the United States about Russia and Ukraine. Then they would wait to see if Russia would get that fake information, which was not actually what was happening on the ground, but they wanted to see France and Ukraine, if they gave the United States fake data, fake info, fake intelligence, if that would then be intercepted in the Russia interceptions that were done by Ukraine and France. And it turned out the Trump regime was indeed sending the fake intel that it thought was real to Russia. So France and Ukraine were using that in order to manipulate Putin and find out at the same time that Donald Trump was giving the info, or the Trump regime was giving the info by Putin, by giving the bad data. And then they would be able to actually find out that Russia was getting that info. But here's what we learned about in Denmark. According to an internal report from Danish Defense, Denmark's Ministry of Defense and top military leaders were increasingly concerned about reports that senior officials in the U.S. military have been attempting to get Danish authorities to hand over information about military installations, ports, and air bases in Greenland. Officials were telling the Danish national newspaper Berlingske. Experts tell officials that they should expect American espionage against Denmark. American espionage against Denmark. American espionage against Ukraine, giving the information to Putin. How utterly despicable. But let me tell you what Mette Frederiksen, the Prime Minister of Denmark, had to say. Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen said in a written response to Ritzau, the Kingdom of Denmark has strong support. At the same time,
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today's story is one of the biggest political drama happening right now, and it involves former US President Donald Trump, angry world leader, and a global plan that Trump feared the most. Across Europe and beyond, leaders are speaking out. Some are warning, some are preparing, and others are quietly building alliance. Behind closed door, all of this is happening because of Trump's latest statement and actions that many say are shaking global stability. But here the big questions: why are world leaders so furious? World, what plan are they announcing, and why is this the exact situations Trump want to avoid? Today I will break everything down in simple, easy, step by step so you can fully understand what's really happening behind the headlines. Let us bring why Trump is back in global headlines. Donald Trump is not stronger to controversy. Whether people love him or hate him, one thing is certain: Trump know how to mm, dominate the news circles. Since leaving the White House, Trump has stand active in politics. He continued to hold realized supporters and comments on international issue, and lately in many of his statement has raised serious concern not just in America but around the world. Some of Trump's recent comments includes strong criticisms of NATO alliance, threats of change America roles in global defense. Statement suggesting the US might reduce support for European security, a harsh word about immigration threats and international agreements, while Trump supporters say he is simple putting America first. Critics say his language and idea are dangerous, riskless, and could destabilize global peace. This is where the story begins. Because world leaders are not just listening, they are reacting, and their reactions are becoming louder, stronger, and more serious. Why world leaders are angry? So what exactly are world leaders furious? Let us break this down in simple terms. For decades, can countries, especially in Europe, have depended on the United States for military protections, political supporters, and economic partnership partnerships. Organizations like NATO exist to ensure that if one country is attacked, other will come to its defense. But Trump is repeatedly questions this system. He has said things like the US should not defend countries that do not play enough for defense. NATO is out data alliance that advantage of America. The US should force only on its own interest. To many world leaders, these statements sound like uh, abandonment. They worry that if Trump returned to power, America might reduce military sports, withdraw for alliance sport, defending Europe, create uncertainty in global security and in international politics. Uncertainty is a dangerous. Leader feared that if America stepped back, rival uh, power may step forever, and that could change the balance of power in the world. That is why their anger is not emotional, it is strategic. They are furious because they feel force of prepare for a future without America full support. The plan Trump featured most. Now let us talk about the plan that Trump reportedly feared the most. According to political analysts and global media, many countries, especially in Europe, are now accumulations effort to build independent military power, suggest European defense system, reduce department of the United States, create strong regional alliance. In simple words, they are prepared to stand on their own. This is something Trump never want. Why? Because when country unity without America, US influence weakness for decades. America has been the world main power, not just military, but diplomacy and economically. Much of their power comes from its leader in global alliance. In Europe, become fully independent in defense and security. The US lose leverage. Trump's critics say that is aggressive rather and unpredictable. Politics are pushing alliance away and into each other armies. Instead of weakness Europe, Trump actions may be maybe that the reigning, and it's why world leaders are moving fast. Europe growing response. Europe leaders are no longer staying silent. Countries like Germany, France, Poland, Sweden, Finland, the United Kingdom are politically discussing stronger military corporations. Many officials are talking about increasing defense Viaducts exporting weapons production, building joints European military force, reducing reliance on U.S. weapons and intelligence. This shift is massive for decades. Europe trusted that the U.S. world always stand beside them. Now they are preparing for a world where America might step away. This is not about attacking the US, it's about survival and stability. European leaders behave that must be ready for many outcomes, and Trump's statement has accorded this process. Trump stressed or risk. Supporters of Donald Trump argue that his approach is smart. They are America should stop paying for other countries. U.S. taxpayers should not fund regions wars. Alliance should take responsibility for their own defense. The U.S. should focus on domestic issue for their perspective. Trump is simple demanding fairness, but critics say the problem is not the idea. This is delivery. They argue Trump turned damage trust. His threats create fear. His unpredictability weaken alliance. His rather benefits America rivals. In global politics, trust is power. When alliances trust each other, they cooperate. When trust break, country smart uh, preparing for conflicts, even if no conflicts exist yet, and that is exactly what world leaders are doing now, not because they want war, but because they want security. Why this movement is so dangerous? Let us push her and understand something important. This moment is not just about Trump, it's about the future of global power. For the first time in decades, America rolls as the unquestioned leader of the free world is being openly debates not just be enemies but the alliance. That alone is historic. The dangers come from reasoning global tensions, a breakdown of trust between alliance, increased military spending. Shifting power alliance history teach us that major conflicts often being not with war but with misunderstanding, fear, and lack of trust. World leaders are furious because they believe Trump rather is create exactly that environment, and they are not waiting, they are acting. Inside the White House, fear and furious sources close to political circles say that Trump has privately expressed frictions over Europe response. He respondly believed that threatening to leave NATO World Force Alliance to pay more pushing Europe world increase US level public criticisms world strength is negative power, but instead something else happened. Europe stand preparing to move on without America, and that is not what Trump expert. Analysts say Trump's biggest fear has always been lost control of negotiations. He wants to be the center power play, but now world leaders are making decisions without waiting for Washington. That changing everything. How this impact the world? This situation affect more than just the US and Europe. It impact Asia, the Middle East, of Africa, America. Why? Because when major power shift aligns the inter-world free the impact. If America weaken its leadership role, other powers step in, new alliance from other partnerships dissolve, global rules change. Some countries many feel safer, other may feel more valuable, and many may feel focused to choice side. This is how global power shift happens slowly, quietly, and then suddenly. And Trump actions are accurately that process. The media's role in this story Media outlets around the world are covering this story aggressive. World leader furious hour. Trump statement Europe prepare for life without US supporter. Trump spoke. Global defense shift. Alliance united against uncertainty from Washington. But media cover itself has become part of the story. Supporters say the media exaggerated. Trump world critics say the media is simply reported reality. The trust likely sit somewhere in between. But one thing is clear: this story is not going away. It is shaping global politics in real time. What happened if Trump returned to power? Now let us address the big questions. What happened if Trump become a president again? How are some possibility Trump doubles down? Trump may countries pushing alliance to increase defense spending and reduce U.S. Commitment. The could furious weaken NATO, European independence, reduce American influence, increase global uncertainty. Trump change strength. Trump may soften his tone while keeping pressure behind the sources. This could restore some trust, maintain U.S. leaderships, keep alliance in instead. Global power shift continue regulates even if Trump change tone. One trust break, it's hard to rebuild. This is why world leaders are acting now, not later. Why Trump furious unity more than conflicts? Hard us. Trump sometimes many people do not realize Trump do not fear confrontations. He threats on it. He enjoy negotiations, pressure, tracts and politics figures. What he fear most is losing relevance when world leader unity without America. Trump lose leverage and alliance operations independently. Trump lose influence when narrative happened. Situation is exactly what Trump fiddles more, the world that move forever within him and the center. What here about your video? Below the comment, and thank you for watching my video. See you in the next video.